before we get into this episode, I do want to offer a trigger warning. There's a scene in the music video we're talking about today where there's some physical harassment and assault happening. Nothing too graphic, but just be warned if you're going to watch the video. And then when we talk about it, that will be brought up. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Real Talk About Feminism podcast.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
You know what I just realized? Since this is a podcast, we could literally be doing the most outrageous faces when we're talking.
Literally.
And if people don't watch on YouTube, they would never know.
I feel like we do sometimes, though. Like, I will catch myself. I'll just make the weirdest face, and I'll look in the camera and be like, oh.
You're like, oops, I forgot I'm on camera. That is so funny.
I feel like what I do the most is just, like, stare at you while you're talking with my mouth open.
I've never noticed, honestly. But, yeah, that's funny. I was just thinking that. Welcome back, you guys.
We hope you enjoyed last week's episode. We have a brand new one for you guys today. And if you didn't read the title, we are going to be talking about Dove Cameron's Breakfast music video. And honestly, I haven't really been a fan of her music, like, since she started her singing career. Like, Boyfriend is, whatever. Whatever.
Not my vibe.
I never listened to Breakfast until I heard it on the radio one day, and I was like, I like this song. And then I started looking up stuff about it, and that's how we arrived at this topic.
It is a feminist anthem.
It really is. It's in my head.
I eat boys like you for breakfast.
So, yeah, I will just say, either, like, pause it right now and go watch the music video, or watch the music video right after you listen to this episode, because then it'll kind of make a little more sense about the things we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
So, before we get into that, though, how are you and your boyfriend?
We are really good. Things are good.
You're still not saying his name.
No, I'm not, because at the moment I've not even soft launched on Instagram, so that would be a hard launch if I said his name.
It would be, but you already kind of did hard launch him.
When?
Because you already said you had a boyfriend on the podcast before you, like, said anything on social media.
I know, but I haven't said his name or anything. Or I have not posted a picture. I
almost hard launched him the other day. Remember on my Snapchat?
Oh, yeah.
I said third wheeling with Haley and
beep.
Bleep. And then I deleted my story, and I was like, crap. And then I put third wheeling with Haley and her boyfriend.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's whatever. I
don't think his name is a big deal.
Alright, guys, his name is Tyler. Me and Tyler are good.
Which is actually hilarious, because
Sadie,
one of our younger sisters, her boyfriend's name is Tyler.
Is Tyler. So, yeah, we're both dating Tylers, and, yeah, me and Tyler are good.
Good. Still in the honeymoon phase.
I don't think it'll ever end. But yeah, we're good. That was actually my obsession of the week. Having a boyfriend.
That's a great obsession.
Having a boyfriend. Like, my obsession of the week is being in a healthy relationship.
Mm-hmm.
That is my obsession.
That's really good.
Yeah. How are you, and what is your obsession of the week?
I'm good.
Let me just say, you are giving MILF energy, and I love it.
Thank you. That is, like, the highest compliment, honestly. So I'm wearing our Real Talk trucker hat, and I'm wearing this cute little, like, tight with a zipper, like, in the chest area. And it has, like, these little, honestly, like, it's giving,
like when you were a little kid and you had to put your fingers through the thing?
Yes. But it looks really cute, and I have really cute rings on, and it's, like, this tight little white thing I got from H&M. And I kind of do feel like a MILF. It's really cute. It's a cute outfit, honestly. I like it with the trucker hat. Thank you so much, because I literally told you this today. I was like, my outfits tonight, like, they're gonna look cute in theory, but, like, that is giving me a confidence boost. So thank you. No,
definitely really cute.
Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm good. I have a couple life things happening in motion that I'll discuss more later, but some really good things going on in my life.
Wait, why don't I not even know what they are?
You know.
Okay.
I'll tell you later.
Okay, tell me later.
I like can't say anything about it right now.
Okay.
So stay tuned.
I'm left more confused.
So, okay. What else is going on in my life? Nothing. Your obsession is being in a healthy relationship.
Uh-huh.
Mine is a beautiful soy candle
Oh, wow.
that I got a couple weeks ago. So this is Ashley Tisdale's line, being Frenchy, whatever.
Frenchy, I
Frenchy,
think,
whatever,
yeah.
how you pronounce it. It's called the Awaken Uplift candle. Best candle I've ever gotten. And
It does
it's
smell
soy.
pretty good.
And I'm like, I haven't turned on my Scentsy because it's not soy. And if you don't have soy candles, like, they can, like, kind of mess with your hormones.
Wait,
I've
really?
seen several videos about it on TikTok, which is, like, the news, you know? So...
Which is, like, the news. I didn't know that. I keep my
No, it really
Scentsy
does.
on all the time.
It can. And, like, those little, like, Bath & Body Works, like, scent things, like, just, like, a lot of stuff in, like, the smell industry can kind of mess with your hormones.
Well, now I'm scared.
So, anyway, I switched to soy, and that is the best candle I've ever bought. I light it all the time. It's almost burned completely.
Dang. That's, how much was it?
It was like $12. It's not
Okay.
that bad.
Cute. Yeah, when I walked into your room and you had it lit, it actually did smell really good.
Yeah, and honestly, it's such a vibe because, like, I like my Scentsy, and I still have it on my desk just for, you know, decoration.
Yeah.
But having a lit candle next to my plants in my big windowsill with my crystals is such a vibe.
I know. I actually used to be a candle girly, and then I burned them all out, and I just haven't gotten new ones. Because, like, candles, they can get kind of expensive, so you kind of have to get them, like, one at a time.
Exactly.
And I don't know, then I just get bored of, like, 1 scent. So I just need to, like, go in and buy a few candles and replenish my stock, because I do love having a lit candle. I have to be kind of careful with Gigi, because I don't want his tail to get in it and then light on fire.
Talk about Landslide.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't talk about that last week. We missed that.
Yeah, I went to a music festival. It was really fun.
Yeah.
They posted all the pictures from it today, and there's one picture of me literally being a main character living my best life.
Yeah, you look so good.
Thank you.
Post that on the story or something.
Yeah, I'll post it on the story.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this and I haven't posted it on the story, then please send us a message and remind me. But yeah, Landslide, so it was like a little music festival. It was just like a 1-day thing in Cedar City, Utah. Went back to Mormon land, and
fun fact, my first years of college, I went to school in St. George. If you didn't know that. And that's like 45 minutes from there.
Yeah, so I was back in Kansas alma mater, kind of, and yeah, it was really fun, honestly. Like, we were dancing like all day. We started at 11 a.m. and we ended at like midnight or something. We were just dancing. We saw Ty Verdes. Why did I say it so hard like that? We saw Ty Verdes in concert. He was the headliner, and he got famous on TikTok for singing like A-OK, Sheesh.
Oh, with Surfaces?
Yeah, I'd be like, sheesh. Yeah. And he was he was a good performer. He just performed for not that long, and it was a little disappointing. And he was like 2 hours late on stage, so for him to be 2 hours late and then only perform for an hour, literally me and Sydney, because I went with my best friend, me and Sydney, like, when we were waiting for the 2 hours for him to come on, we were like, you are not a big enough name to be doing this.
Literally, like, Abel?
Yeah.
When you were that late,
it's okay. It's okay because you're hot.
Exactly.
So it's fine.
Girl, okay, I just want to say, you especially, but like we both, because we both follow him on Instagram,
Obsessed.
Abel of the Weekend. So we still, to this day, both send each other like
every single post.
We're like, he looks hot. He looks so good.
And like, for some reason, my Instagram Explore page is just all like the Weekend fan edits and like the Weekend news. So I'm always just on my Explore page. I see all this stuff about the Weekend, and I'm like, send.
Yeah,
obsessed.
You know, we will be watching. Is it The Idol?
The Idol, yeah, I think so.
We will be watching that.
Yeah, so that was my chair squeaking, if you guys heard that.
I barely heard it.
I'm in a silly, goofy mood. So yeah, Landslide was really fun. That was the festival. Okay. Yeah, it was tiring. I was like, I feel like this was my first week back at work, and even then, like, it was Labor Day.
Well, because okay, so you went out of town on a business meeting.
Yeah.
For half the week.
Yeah.
Majority of the week. And then you came back and literally left the next morning.
The next morning. I was not even home for 24 hours.
4 flights that week.
Yeah, and like with my vestibular migraines, travel's really difficult. And if I'm not like eating like a good consistent like meal, if I'm not on a good consistent meal schedule and I'm not sleeping right, then I'm just gonna be sick. And then on top of it, travel is really bad. So yeah, it was just kind of a like long week. Like when I got back, I was like, okay, I'm ready. And even now, like I feel still off with my schedule because we had Labor Day, so it was only a 4-day work week. And so I'm like ready to get back into it, get back in like my workout schedule and everything.
Yeah, you should be proud of me because when you were gone, I went to the gym almost every day.
I am really proud of you, honestly. That's good.
I've gone every single time this week except yesterday because I was so tired.
I went every single time this week except yesterday too.
Nice.
I didn't go yesterday. But yeah, that's good. That's really good. It's good to get back. Like at this point, we've been at the apartment for like a month now, right?
Dude, yeah.
So it's like, okay, it's like time for us to get back into it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Well, I'm going to get into the feminist highlight. Today's is really cool. I'm actually really excited about it. Her name is Daphne Frias. She's a 24-year-old Latina activist. She has cerebral palsy and she uses a wheelchair. And she advocates for the disability community, gun violence, climate change, and voter turnout. Those are like her main areas that she focuses on.
Okay.
Now, I'm sure you remember, I remember this day very vividly, but the 2018 Stoneman Douglas High School shooting in Parkland, Florida.
Oh, yeah.
Remember seeing that on the news?
Yeah.
That is what sparked her passion for advocacy. So
wait, where is she from?
She's from New York.
Okay.
Yeah. So she wasn't there.
Okay.
At first I was like, oh my gosh, like I thought she was there.
Yeah.
She wasn't. But it sparked her passion for it. So she organized transportation for more than 100 students from her college campus to the March for Our Lives event following the shooting and was then appointed the New York State Director for March for Our Lives shortly after.
Wow.
So like she organized this whole thing because she was so passionate about it. And I don't remember who it was that appointed her, but like they saw this and they were like, we want you.
We need you. Yeah.
Like you are making conversation.
Mm-hmm.
She also founded Box the Ballot, which is a nonprofit dedicated to increasing voter turnout, especially for 18 to 29-year-olds. And I went on her website. I will link it in the show notes. And I was stuck in a rabbit hole reading all of her stuff. So Daphne, wow. I really hope you're listening. I highly doubt it. But
she's like, hey, girl.
You were really cool. So on her website, she has a video of the climate change convention, I think in 2020. And she was on a panel that was led by Emma Watson. And like Malala was on it. And like all these other like activists. So it was really, really
Imagine.
Cool. So yeah, I like watched her part and she just seems like such a sweet girl. And then I was going on her Instagram and I saw that she was just diagnosed with cancer. I think it's non-Hodgkin's lymphoma that she was just diagnosed with. So I was like, that is so sad.
Speaking of, it is Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month.
Speaking of, you guys, how have we not talked about this yet?
I don't know
This
how.
is such a big deal. September is Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month. Mm-hmm. And last year, I think we did a better job of highlighting it. We did an episode last year in September, and we, I mean, mostly you, but like we talked about Haley's journey with cancer when she was young. So if you want to go back and listen to that, we can link it in the show notes.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll share it on our Instagram stories and stuff because it really was a good listen. We should do an updated one maybe next year.
Yeah, I think we should do an updated one. It was a good episode, and we actually talked about things that we've never talked about with each other before.
We like had to go off camera.
Yeah. Like we literally had to take a break. It
literally.
It was pretty emotional.
It was kind of therapeutic, to be honest.
It was.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month, September. I've been trying to like share some things on my story because I'm normally very vocal about it. But honestly, like, I mean, just to get real, like, I feel like I've been like some other things have been coming up, like other traumas. And I felt a lot of pressure to be like, okay, what social media campaign do I need to do for September? Like, I always do something. But then I was realizing, like, you know what? I don't have to do this big thing. Like, it's gonna be okay. Like, I can share my story in other ways and not have all that like pressure on me. Yeah, exactly. Just talking about it. So I don't think I'm gonna do like a big social media campaign, but I do want to just highlight it is Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month. It's important to talk about it because there's all these little kids who are diagnosed. Like, there are so many kids. It's like 43 kids every second in the U.S. are diagnosed. Yeah, so there's like a ton of kids that are diagnosed with cancer, and then their families and themselves, like, they're so young. They have no idea what's going on. And I remember, like, being younger, and not to go on a tangent, I'm not going to go for that long, but, like, being younger, like, literally being like, they already got blood. Why am I getting poked again?
Right.
Why do I feel so tired? Why can't I run around like all the other kids? Like, why am I wearing a wig? Why am I bald? Sorry, that's not funny.
It's like that TikTok sound.
Literally.
It's
not funny. So, you know, like, just those things that you can't really process as a kid, like, why is this happening to me? So that's why it's important to talk about. I'll share this clip on TikTok so that we can just really raise awareness about it. But it really is, like, Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month is so important. Support the families. Like, you know, it's really hard to see someone go through that.
Yeah.
It's hard to go through it yourself. So just spread awareness this month.
Yeah. It was a few years ago that you organized your Go Gold party, which was such a cool thing. And we talked about doing something like that.
Yeah.
So whether it's a fundraiser.
I wonder if we could do it virtually or something next year for everyone.
Yeah.
We'll do something next year. But yeah, definitely just go listen to that episode. Listen to me and Ken's share our story. It honestly is our story. About, like, cancer. So
yeah, thank you for talking about that, though, because it is important. And last week, I remember before we recorded, we were like, we need to touch on this, and then, you know, the episode just progressed. Yeah, and we didn't get to it. But yeah, it really is important. So yeah. Do you have anything else?
I don't. Sorry, that was a tangent, but that was important.
Don't apologize. Okay. As I mentioned, we're going to be talking about Dove Cameron's Breakfast music video.
Breakfast!
Not at all the tune.
Nope.
But either pause right now and go watch. It's like 4 minutes long, or watch right after. So, Haley and I both watched it. And the chorus, I just want to say what the lyrics are in the chorus. This is the feminist anthem. I eat boys like you for breakfast, one by one, hung on my necklace, and they'll always be mine. It makes me feel alive. So the message of the whole video, a little bit of backstory. I went down a very deep rabbit hole with this for some reason. I was very into it. Dove, in many interviews, mentioned that they had filmed a whole entire music video before this.
Oh.
Before they released the one that's currently out, the one that's gone viral. They had a whole other music video filmed, ready to go. Wow. And then when Roe v. Wade was overturned, she was like, I do not feel right about putting out this video that we have without having some sort of advocacy behind it, right? Because it's a big deal.
Yeah.
And so they scratched the whole thing, redid it, and the one that's out is the second one that they took.
Wow. Okay. So,
and the whole message of the video is the power dynamic between men and women and flipping gender norms. Basically. Like, when you're watching it as a woman, you're just like, yep.
Yeah, you're like, exactly. I've been in that situation. Yep, exactly. I felt that way.
Yep. And so it's just very interesting to watch. And I'm curious for any guys that watch, like, what are your opinions on it? Because
I guarantee the guys that watch would be so uncomfortable.
Yeah. And I'll get to that.
Yeah.
So, as I mentioned, like, there's not even really underlying tones. It's very kind of in your face in the beginning, especially about Roe v. Wade being overturned. The video follows a corporate workplace where Dove is the boss, and all of her, like, all the leadership, they're all women, and her husband stayed home, and he's like the stay-at-home husband, dad. He does all the cooking, all the cleaning, and it shows this in the beginning. Okay. So then we cut to the workplace, and in some of the scenes, Dove and her fellow female executives are harassing a young male worker. And it's just very interesting to watch because it's like you hear so many stories of this happening to women in the workplace, and women being comfortable in the workplace is such an important topic that we've touched on a few times in several episodes. And so it's interesting to see it play out because the way, I mean, Dove is an actress, but like the way that she carries herself in this power position is so interesting to see because it's like exactly how like a male boss would probably act in that situation when they're harassing female workers.
Not to say that all men are like this, but
but it's very interesting because like stereotypes happen for a reason, you know, and it's like a lot of women have come forth and shared stories about how they're uncomfortable in the workplace at certain companies. So some of the things in the video that stood out to me, I was jotting down notes, lists, and stuff.
Yeah,
if you want to add anything, please do.
Tell me. I'll add stuff as I go.
Okay. So, obviously, like, the very obvious references to the abortion debate, Roe v. Wade, and women's reproductive rights. Now, specifically, here's some of the things. A male worker in the music video, he's sitting at his desk, he gets a phone call, and he, like, rushes out, okay? So this male worker tries to get an abortion, or gets one. It wasn't really clear to me. I don't know how you felt.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah. But the doctor literally tells him that everything will be okay, but he needs to dress appropriately next time and not drink so much so that the women aren't provoked. Like, the doctor literally said
Yeah, that's what he said.
And then the doctor hands him a pamphlet on how to act morally for a young man. And the worker is, like, sitting there like, what? This is
like, so invalidated.
So invalidated. At the end of the video, it also says not the end instead of the end. And it has a screen of resources for abortion access and Roe v. Wade.
Oh, so that's so good.
Some of the more, like, in-your-face examples of women's rights and the women's rights movement.
Yeah.
Yeah, it honestly, like, it's giving me chills again.
Yeah, same. I'm, like, thinking about it in my head.
It is so good. And as I mentioned, like, she's an actress. Like, she knows how to play this. And she's a woman. She knows how it is. Some other things I noticed about the video that stood out to me. Dove is dressed in a powerful-looking business suit.
We love a business suit.
Her body language is spot on in so many of the scenes. So there's one scene, like, in the beginning when she's in the workplace. It's kind of in slow-mo. She's walking, and at the desks are all, like, guys working. And then it's her and her female leadership behind her. And she, like, moves the side of her jacket and, like, puts her hand in her pocket.
Yeah.
The briefcase. It's, like, such a power.
And then she throws the briefcase on the desk.
On one of the desks right next to the worker. And then in the beginning of the video, she, like, puffs out a newspaper. I don't really know how to describe it. But, like, she, like, folds out the newspaper really aggressively. And then her husband comes over with her breakfast and she knocks him down. Like, her elbow knocks him down. And all the food falls on the ground. And she just kind of, like, stares at him, waiting for him to pick it up. So her body language during the video speaks volumes. Yeah,
it was like all of her body language, like, throughout the whole thing is just, it's screaming, like, overly confident. Like, you just think that you are, like, it. Like, you think that you've made
in,
it.
Like, a cocky, arrogant way.
Yes, in a cocky way. Like, not in a good way at all.
Right. But she plays it so well.
No, she plays it so well, and it's, like, it's exactly what you would think of, like, a business executive, like, a man who just thinks, like, he's made it in life and nobody else matters, and it doesn't matter his workers, like, nothing. Like, everything about it is so spot on.
Right. Just a disclaimer, like, we're generalizing.
It's a generalization, but
I've never really had a negative experience with a male boss or supervisor. Have. You definitely have. I really haven't, but, like,
not currently. If anyone's listening,
not currently,
but in the past.
But yeah, in the past, like, I've heard women's stories of workplaces.
Yeah, I like what you said. Like, you were like, stereotypes are there for a reason because things happen often. So. Not saying that this is how it happens all the time, but
like, we're women and we're watching it and we're like, yeah,
we're like, like, you could, every woman can relate to one thing in that video, at least one thing,
for sure.
Yeah.
I'm also going to talk a little bit about the flipped stereotypical gender roles that are shown in the video, and I'll attach some of the articles that I read of just, like, what people were saying about the video and the praise that it got, because it was so interesting. There were clips, like, voice messages from women who were saying it is so obvious that there's something wrong when you're watching it flipped. Yeah. So, like, the man in the exam room being handed a brochure and being told how to act moral as to not provoke the women. It's so obvious that's wrong when it's flipped, right? It's like, that literally happens to women. And nothing is done about it. But the second you flip it and it's the man who's in the vulnerable position, it's screaming that it's wrong.
Yeah. Well, even me, like, I was, like, watching the video and I was like, this is so wrong. Like, why are they doing this to him? Why are they saying this to him? And then I'm like, wait, that's what women experience.
Literally.
But, like, because we're so used to seeing all of that against women, it's like our brains are conditioned to just be like, yeah, like, it just sucks being a woman. But then when you see it against a man because you never see it talked about. It's like,
Mhm.
wait a second. Like, it takes you back, even though, like, I know that that's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
it really, like, took me back.
Right. It's like with the male birth control thing and how there was all this stuff that has come out about how, like, the side effects affected the men. And it's like...
It's, like, the same
dude,
exact
it's
side
the
effects.
same exact side effects that women deal with on a daily freaking basis if you're on birth control. On hormonal birth control. Like, it is what we deal with, and no one says anything to us.
Yeah, literally the reason why I have, like, I'm trying to get back on the pill, and I have just been putting it off because I don't want to, because the side effects suck. But guess what? You have to. Because there's no male birth control right now.
Right. It's a necessary evil. It's just...
Ugh.
Anyway.
Moving on. We could talk... You guys know we could talk about birth control for forever.
Oh, I love talking about birth control. I love talking about periods. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Okay, so some of the flipped stereotypical gender roles. Her husband cooks her breakfast. When she knocks it out of his hands, as I mentioned before, she expects him to clean it up off the floor. Like, she literally just looks at him.
Mm-hmm.
That's giving, like, 1950s housewife
Yeah, 1950s
vibes.
housewife.
Not really so much today, maybe.
Yeah.
And, like, a lot of the marriages I see, but, like, you know.
Yeah.
Interesting. Her intimidating her male workers. A male worker serves the executive women coffee during one of their meetings, and then one of the female higher-ups grabs his waist, non-consensually.
Oh, yeah.
And the camera shows his face, and he's so uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So there's also a scene in the music video. It seems like physical coercion to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the best way to describe it. But like Dove is like kind of force feeding one of her male workers. She's like force feeding him a drink, and then some of the olives from the drink. And he's obviously uncomfortable. Like his body language is screaming uncomfortable, but like her body language is like she is like fully facing toward him and like forcing him to do this. And then she starts like kissing him and like touching his thigh. And then it's cutting to a scene where her husband had prepared dinner and he like lit candles and he's sitting at the table waiting for her, checking his watch for her to get home. And she doesn't show up and he just clears the table.
Yeah.
And then lastly, there's a line Dove says, like the only spoken line she's saying, like, men are so emotional, which is said all the time about women.
Yeah, literally. I know, I'm like, girl, you chose a good line.
She really did. And it's right after the male worker gets the phone call about like from like the clinic or something, and he runs out. And she's like, men are so emotional. Very interesting. Then another aspect of this video is there's a TV playing commercials in the background, and it's like flickering between like protests about Roe v. Wade and abortion and women's rights, and then a cleaning product on the TV that's telling husbands to get this product to impress their wives.
Their wives, yeah.
Which obviously is a play on the typical women stay home, clean the house. And then a lot of the things playing on the TV were distractions from the clips about the protests and about abortion access.
Yeah.
So there was like a commercial about like a whiskey for women, and it was like, strong women drink this drink.
Yeah.
You know, like how like real guys drink
real
beer,
man
you know?
drink, yeah.
like that exact vibe.
Yeah.
So anyway, please go watch the video. That was some of the things that I noticed, and I was just I can't even tell you how many times I watched it because it was so good to me. Like it's just, it couldn't have come at a better moment, and I really applaud her for literally scrapping her first video and using this as an opportunity to use her platform to, one, share resources and educate the public about Roe v. Wade and how it is to live as a woman.
Yeah. No, it was a really well done video, the way that she executed it all, and I do think that was really good that she used her platform and did a whole music video on it. Like, obviously, she's got a huge following. She's probably got millions of followers. So she could do a quick Instagram live and talk about it. Like, yeah. But instead, she took the time to, like, create this timeless video that, like, speaks so many things about gender stereotypes and, like, all these things, like, violence against women in the workplace, harassment. Like, it was really good. She did a really good job with it.
She did a great job. Dove girl, you didn't miss with this one.
Good job. Really you ate.
Go listen to the song. We will be listening right after this because it's in my head now.
Yeah, same.
But please follow us on Instagram at Real Talk About Feminism Pod. Same handle for TikTok. Subscribe to our weekly email newsletter and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Real Talk About Feminism Podcast. As always, all that information is in the show notes.
Yep. So go down to the show notes. If you're on YouTube, then go to like the little video description. And you guys can see all those links. Definitely you don't want to miss out on the email newsletter. We've got a lot of good content in there. It's just once a week. And we would love to have you join our little community of newsletter people. So with that being said, go and listen to Breakfast by Dove Cameron and let that be your anthem for the week. You know what? Have your hot girl walk today to breakfast, okay? Yep. We're doing that.
Great idea.
All right. Bye, everyone. Bye,